Scotty, what's happening, man? How you doing today?
It's great. Just enjoying this beautiful weather out here in Southern California.
Oh, I love it. How could you not be doing that? Listen, I got to just get this out of the way, man. As much as you beat up on my Knicks and incredible respect for your, for your success. It is what it is. You blocked us from a few chips. But it always seemed, and we saw this like in the opening montage of The Last Dance here, you took such great pride dunking and embarrassing my boy Ewing. Like more than anybody else in the, like you would scowl, you would step over him. What was the problem with Ewing? You didn't do anything to you.
No, it wasn't anything personal. It's just my style of play. I play with a lot of tenacity. I attack the rim, and if you came between me and the rim, then you were setting yourself up for a moment of embarrassment.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny when you have the athleticism to do that on just about anybody. Obviously, the guards are easy, but when you get big men and you can go over them, it's a different story. As you've watched the game evolve, Scotty, and now we have all these bigs out shooting three-pointers, and the physicality has changed. Do you enjoy the game now? I would assume yes, because you were so athletic and you were able to take advantage of it. Do you enjoy the game now as much?
I would say yes to that. I mean, I've enjoyed how the game has evolved, and as you said, how bigger guys are playing all over the floor. I mean, the game is now a positionless game, so players are capable of doing things that we haven't seen in the past. So you look at the Denver Nuggets, they're playing with their 7-footer up at the top of the floor because of the lack of their guard play right now. But, it's a lot of teams are throwing different things at you. You look at the Houston Rockets, they're playing sort of a small ball, so they think that style can be successful. So it's kind of interesting to watch the game from this perspective because you're not seeing just the traditional big man and power forward and a few guards. So it's good to see multi-dimensional players play multiple positions.
Yeah, no, it's opened it up. It's made it faster for sure. Pretty much everybody could handle the ball. You mentioned some of these big guys. They're all pretty good passers, in addition to range. The one thing, though, Scott, we're talking to Scottie Pippen, Hall of Famer with us here on Tiki and Tierney. One thing, Scotty, to me, that has changed for the worse is that, back in the day, I feel like the coaches got an extra year or so to try to try to get something together, to try to cut through it. Now it's like, all right, 2 years, no progress, out, and there's no continuity. I feel like it retards the growth of the young players, and I just don't feel like it's great for the game. Would you agree with that or no?
I won't say I agree with it. I think that, coaches don't have the same type of longevity that we've seen in the past, but it's because of their success. But there are coaches that are, very successful. You look at Greg Popovich, he's still around. He's been very successful. Spoelstra down in Miami, who's, been able to hang his hat with that organization for a while. But, a lot of these organizations, when they go young and they have younger players, this is a player's game now. So if there's anything going on that, these owners or management don't feel comfortable or their star player is not comfortable with the head coach, then most of the time it's going to be the removal of the coach and not the players. And that just go to show you that, this is a player's game.
Yeah, no, we've seen that evolve over the last couple of years where guys want to go play with other stars that they're friendly with and try to win a championship. And it's almost like, I don't want to say it's easier now because obviously it's really hard to win a championship, but you had to be dealt the right cards back in the day. Nowadays, you can kind of manufacture the cards if you want them. When you look at how player empowerment has become so big, the money has gotten so big. Is the competitive spirit the same? Is it kind of, I don't know, diluted a little bit because of how the player has changed?
Well, I say to that it has not changed. I think we're just seeing the involvement of players who kind of grew up together, who played AAU ball together, and all this thing all these things that these players have done throughout their basketball careers just have came full circle for them. Growing up, I never played competitive basketball other than in high school, so there was never any summer AAU competition where these players are playing against each other each summer. They pretty much growing up together, so the relationship and the bond start as a teenager, and it just continues to grow, and that's why we're seeing these relationships in the game that we've never seen before. And I could go as far as saying that's in all sports, not just basketball, but football as well as baseball, because we've found ways of making our grassroots system better so the players are able to build relationships through that as well.
Yeah, but Scottie, I got to respectfully challenge you on this, or at least disagree, not challenge, because your opinion is your opinion. But from a fan's point of view, and Tiki knows, I have been with the NBA since the 80s, man. I know it, and I love it. And it's different. And I'm not talking about stylistically. These kids are phenomenal today. But when you grow up and you're hanging out for the time you're 12, 13, I don't know. You don't step on the court outside of a few guys. Beverly's one of them. LeBron's still one of them. Where I just want to rip your head off, and I just want to embarrass you, and I want to destroy you. And it's that mindset that made the NBA so great with Magic and Bird and you guys and the Knicks and the Heat and the Pacers. That's gone, Scottie. Come on.
Well, I think that the style is still there. I think the physicality of the game has been knocked back a lot. But there again, we're looking at a different game. We're looking at a game that is built on relationships, a game that has friendship. When you roll back the pages and look at the game 30 years ago, there were no relationships on the basketball court.
Nope.
Playing against the Los Angeles Lakers back in 1991 in the NBA Finals, I didn't have a relationship with any players on that team. I love Magic Johnson, but we didn't have no relationship. I loved and idolized James Worthy, but there was no relationship. We didn't really say anything to each other after the game. We'll give each other dap to start the game, but that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas today's game, these players know each other. They got their cell phone numbers. They're on speed dial. So you can't expect to see the same anger, physicality, and all that stuff that you saw in the game in the 80s and in the 70s and possibly in the early 90s.
Yep.
Part of it.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when we drop fresh content.